Like there's a dialogue box, God with a question mark. And little by little, the word God and the dialogue box gets smaller and smaller. And until in the 5th frame, it's just a question mark. And in the 6th frame, it's just a black square. And it's sort of like in the first one, Jesus is getting smaller. Jesus is sort of abandoning you. In the second cartoon, your voice calling after God diminishes to a generic question and then finally nothing. So I'm wondering what this means. Like, do you feel like you don't believe in God anymore, or you stopped calling out for him and it's kind of on him now to find you if he's out there? How do you relate to your belief system now about whether there's a God or not?
Yeah, so those cartoons, by the way, were some of my most controversial that I got in, and I did those while I was a pastor of a vineyard church.
Oh my word!
And they caused a lot of trouble for me. But I like to say now, some people identify me as a believer. Some people identify me as an atheist, definitely an agnostic. I like to say my home's in Christianity, but I have cottages everywhere.
That's good.
And in terms of belief, I don't even use that word anymore, or faith, because it just carries so much baggage with it. I have come to a place now where, like I said earlier in the interview, my beliefs and yours, let's say, they're just our own attempts at trying to explain what we can't understand, or the mysterious or whatever. We use different languages that are trying to articulate our different thoughts about the same thing, about the same experience. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I need to write another book fleshing out that dream I had in 2009 of the waterfall,
right.
Where I sort of woke up with this peace of mind and realizing that none of us, we're not different. We have different ideas, and we need to critique that and analyze those and discuss those. But essentially, I'm kind of like you. It's like, this is fun to talk about and important, but you know what? I've got to go have a beer with my friend right now.
Right. Or mow the lawn, or whatever. Yeah.
So it's like, I had an interview the other day and it was a very conservative interviewer, evangelical, and I didn't realize it beforehand, so I was way more free than I maybe should have been. But, trying to nail me on, you still believe in Jesus Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior, right? And then I have this, well, no, listen, who's asking the question? Is it the one who needs to know what my label is so they can relate to me? Or is it someone who needs to put me in a category so they know whether I'm saved or not? Or is it fear motivating that question because you're asking yourself, So these are the more important questions to me, not where do I stand theologically. I'm comfortable hanging out with believers. I'm comfortable hanging out with atheists because to me we're the same. And I feel no anxiety about it and no pressure to try to articulate my beliefs. And one more thought about that. I feel my job is to help people discover and explore and experiment with their own spirituality. I feel like I'm their servant, and really, who gives rat's ass what the servant thinks or believes, really? And it doesn't matter what I believe. What matters is that I'm going to let you discover and explore and experiment with what you believe, even if that means you coming to a place of not believing. And you know what? You're right. It's a terrifying thing of moving into a more, because I have a very healthy inner atheist. I remember the terror I felt, absolute terror I felt at that possibility. But, I know other people who were very strong believers who've now become very strong atheists, and they're happier than they've ever been.
Yeah, so, and I've heard people say, too, that they're okay with people that believe things about God. It's more how they hold their belief that's important. And I kind of hear you saying that as well, too, because you said a minute ago, I'm comfortable hanging out with believers. And my first thought was, not all the believers you're not, I bet. Like,
No, that's true.
There's a certain kind of believer that holds their belief in a healthy, world affirming, people affirming sort of way that I think is, we can find common cause with people who believe and don't believe around all kinds of important things.
Every every proposition, even in the scientific world, is provisional. It's always temporary because they know that sooner or later this is going to be disproven and either overturned or expanded upon. So everything's temporary, everything's provisional, and that's the way I hold to everything now.
Well, this has been a fantastic and thought-provoking conversation, and I have a feeling we could go on for much longer. So we'll definitely want to have you back on the program and keep us posted on all the things that you're up to. David, it's been so great having you on the program. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us on the Life After God podcast. I hope you enjoyed my conversation with David Hayward. Make sure you go and check out his website, nakedpastor.com, buy his book, Questions Are the Answer, at amazon.com, and visit our website at lifeaftergod.org. Sign up for our email newsletter, follow us on Twitter, follow our Facebook page, and if you're looking for a coach to walk with you through this awkward and painful sometimes transition out of faith and into a life after God, please reach out to us. We would be more than happy to support you along that journey. If you like this podcast and you can support us, we definitely could use your help in offsetting some of the expenses of this production. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/lifeaftergod. Any size donation is so appreciated and so helpful in making sure that this program can continue. It's been great to join you for a moment of your day today. Thanks again for tuning in. My name is Ryan Bell, and this has been Life After God.